Errol Spence Jr. will make his return to the boxing ring after nearly a year layoff due to a near-fatal car crash. He will defend his title against one of the best welterweights in the world in Danny Garcia. And with that, we welcome in the great Errol Spence Jr. to First Take. Errol, you know what they say, you can't have a comeback if you don't have a setback. I know it's been a crazy past year for you.
For me, just staying focused, training, losing the weight, and just being 100% on point. I think me and my coach been working since probably July. So, we've been grinding, working hard, trying to get back, staying 100% focused. I'm 100% ready for December 5th, Saturday night.
Errol, thank you for being on the show. First of all, I want to say I'm thankful and I'm grateful that you're okay, because that was a nasty-looking car crash that you got yourself into, and we understand the trouble that came from that. I want to know what your health situation is like, because, to me, I know you walked away, you had a bloody eye and some scars on your face, but that seemed to be all. My first thing is, how healthy are you?
I'm 100% healthy. Like I said, I went to the clinic and they got checked out and went to the hospital. They did all type of exams on me and MRIs and everything. They didn't see any brain swelling or anything. Had me do reaction tests and everything. And I passed them with flying colors. So they gave me the cue to continue boxing. So that's the first thing was my health, to make sure I was good and everything checked out straight. I was going to the gym, I was training. Then I started sparring in September. I started sparring in September. I looked great. And, then we got a fight lined up with Danny Garcia. So everything been going, pretty much as scheduled. It was just a blessing that, I'm able to continue my career so early and, come back so early, a little less over than a year.
For those mainstream sports fans who don't know, Errol Spence is considered one of the real special fighters in boxing. Tall, rangy, a southpaw, can beat you with his jab and defense. Ask Mikey Garcia, but doesn't look to do that, looks to punish the opponent, knockout power. You have it all. You're a complete fighter, Errol. But Danny Garcia, is also a very good fighter.
Yes, he is.
He has one close loss, very close loss to Keith Thurman, one wider loss to Sean Porter, but Sean Porter gave you everything you wanted. That was a fight of the year type fight. I thought you won because of the knockdown late, which he got up from, but that was nip and tuck the whole way. How do you plan after this kind of accident, coming back from that, to actually beat Danny Garcia? What's the game plan?
Well, first of all, I thought, I could have beat Sean Porter easy on the outside like I did Mikey Garcia. But, my whole game plan was a Sean Porter fight, even sitting in training camp. I wanted to fight. I wanted to show people that I can beat him on the inside, so that's what I did. Even with Mikey Garcia, I want to show people that I can box, because people said that he had better boxing IQ than me, so I showed people I can box. And with this fight, I'm just going to show everybody that, I'm just all around just a better fighter. On the inside, outside, with the jab, combination, hooks, whatever you want to do in the ring, I can do better than Danny Garcia. He's a great fighter. Iron chin, very tough. But I don't think, even if I was at 70%, Danny Garcia couldn't beat me.
It's interesting that you say that. Listen, I like Danny Garcia a lot. He's 36-2. His only two losses were to Keith Thurman and to Sean Porter, just like Max pointed out. But I had you as my top pound for pound, top 2 pound for pound in the world. But Terrence Crawford has ascended, and I know you're not looking ahead because you're smart enough not to look past anybody, and you got to handle your business first. But there are a lot of people, Max included, I don't think I'm stepping out of turn speaking for him here, when we talk about a fight that we desperately want. It is Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford.
Number one fight
and you got Terrence Crawford talking about everybody running from him. Nobody want to give him those fights. What do you have to say about that?
Really nothing to say about it. Nobody's running from Terrence Crawford. Like I said, I'm coming off a car accident and I had to fight Danny Garcia. Somebody would have picked the tune up, but I'm fighting Danny Garcia, so I got to get past him to even think about somebody else. So once I get past Danny Garcia, y'all can ask me questions about Terrence Crawford.
Storm and Scott with you on a Monday. Donovan Mitchell and the Jazz agreeing to a 5-year max extension worth up to $195, coming off a postseason where he averaged over 36 points per game. And ditto for Jason Tatum, cashing in 5-year max extension with Boston, also worth up to $195 million for the first-time All-Star in 2020. Lakers agreed to a deal with Marc Gasol, the defending champs, reworking that front court. They also traded JaVale McGee to the Cavs to clear up space for his signing. And the man, he's not even the man, the myth. He's the man, the legend. Adrian Wojnarowski just working like crazy. The draft, free agency, insane. All right, so obviously the Lakers aren't resting on their laurels, right? So they trade for Dennis Schroeder, they add Gasol, they add Montrezl Harrell. What are you hearing about everything they're doing this offseason?
Well, it's pretty rare when a defending champion actually upgrades their bench and upgrades on players who helped them win a title. Rajon Rondo went to Atlanta. Dwight Howard goes to Philly. So they bring in Dennis Schroeder in a trade, a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. Marc Gasol, future Hall of Fame center, won a title 2 years ago in Toronto. He comes in now in the middle, and this is a Laker team that around the edges has gotten even better. Rob Pelinka's had a very good offseason here after the Lakers finally won that title with LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
All right, so we don't know where they're going to play. Let's say they do play in the Staples Center, and the other team that occupies the Staples Center this season, of course, being the LA Clippers. And it almost feels like some kind of arms race, like, whatever you do, I can do better. So the Clippers have added Serge Ibaka. He reunites with Kawhi Leonard. I mean, what does that mean for the rivalry going forward?
Yeah, the Clippers have catching up to do, and it always seems like the Clippers and Lakers are competing very often for the same players. But the Clippers wanted to keep some of their key guys. Marcus Morris, they signed to a 4-year, $64 million deal. Markeith's brother, bringing him back was important. And the Serge Ibaka commitment was huge for the Clippers. It gives them a veteran front court player, can play both spots, and they still have more work to do. Luke Kennard comes in from Detroit, who can play both guard spots, give them some good minutes there. And, they still have a few more roster spots. Reggie Jackson, who they signed last year, he's a possibility. He might be able to return to that Clipper bench. But, with Ty Lue, this is a different team now, and this is a different head coach and a little different way of looking at things. But the Clippers know they've got a gap to close with the Lakers.
Really quickly, do you have a sense of how involved Ty Lue is with these personnel decisions, how front and center he is with what's happening there? Yeah,
listen, it's a pretty collaborative place there. Lawrence Frank, Mike Winger, their front office, they spend a lot of time talking with Ty Lue about how pieces fit and how they want to play. And I know that's a conversation they have every day.
It's just so fascinating to have these two teams in the same building. Clippers still trying to battle for the soul of LA, and the schedule comes out December 1st, so we'll see when they play head-to-head.
All right. Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks for all your hard work, Woj. We appreciate it. For NBA insider Brian Windhorst. So can we start with Giannis, our two-time reigning NBA MVP, because he enters the final season of his contract, as we all know, but he could sign the Supermax, 5 years, $228 million, to remain with the Bucks. What sort of ripple effect could that have, Windy, on the rest of the league going forward?
Well, Hannah, it's really everything. To be honest with you, we just had the craziest week of NBA transactions in league history, but nothing is more important than waiting on this Giannis extension. If he extends, the Bucks are the gigantic winners of this offseason. If he does not extend, we're going to see a mad rush and dash to prepare for his possible free agency next summer. And if you look at moves that teams have made across the league, whether it's the Miami Heat signing 4 players to 1-year contracts, whether it's the Toronto Raptors tailoring the contracts of their players so that they have more room next year, or the Dallas Mavericks making trades to clear off guaranteed money, those teams believe there's a chance that Giannis may not sign it. And so the whole league, in one way or another, is sitting on the edge of their seats waiting for that decision.
Okay, so let's really play this thing forward now. Let's